Hello ladies and gentlemen, back at it again from another video today. Yes, I literally just finished making the GTA 5 video. Because I'm kind of just doing this one by one, trying to just like get this all done. Um, but I think y'all already know what this video is. I mean, y'all read the title, y'all clicked this video. This video is going to be dedicated to Red, I was gonna do a Western accent. Red Dead Redemption. Red Dead Redemption 2. Red Dead Redemption 2. And here's the box art in all of its glory. As you can see. Now if you'll notice, this actually says special edition. So you kind of have to open this little casket, and here's the actual box. But yeah, it came in this like little packet. And actually, there's a funny story to this too, which I'll get into in a second. But for now, here's just the normal box as well. Red Dead Redemption 2. Really, really sick box art, by the way. I really like this art style. Just like the Western art style. But I'm not gonna lie, Arthur looks really, really different in this drawing. Like that does not look like Arthur Morgan at all, which I kind of think is funny. I have to think about. But yeah, and then you can see like right there, it says, let's see, it says Red Dead Redemption Online coming soon, which was like maybe like, I think a month later, I believe. But yeah, so here's the inside of the box. Once again, you got the map. I don't even think it came with a manual, which is, this is like by the time when manuals were like non-existent now. But yeah, so as you can see, just like with GTA 5, this game also came with 2 discs. There's Dutch right there on the disc, and I believe it says, yeah, this is the data disc. So basically, you would put this disc in the console first, and then after you did that, you would put the normal game disc, and that's how you would play the game. Because like these games are so massive that you needed 2 discs just to play it. Because I think Red Dead Redemption 2 alone is like 120 gigabytes, which is crazy. But yeah, so here's the map, which I'll open in a sec. And I don't remember what the like whole state is called. We'll have to see. But yeah, because this was the special edition of the game, it came with 2 little bonuses. So here's one bonus where basically I got this horse for free, which is kind of a little dumb because you could just find this horse in the wild. So it's not like that like cool, if I'm being honest. Let me see what it says. It's, yeah, the war horse. I figured that's what it was called. And you would get like a little outlaw like survival kit. And here's the code, by the way, guys. Like, please don't steal it, right? But I actually had a lot of memories with this horse, because this horse was with me throughout the whole game. So whenever it died, it generally made me sad. I was like, damn, this horse like was practically with me the whole game. And then yeah, so oh wow, okay. Red Dead Redemption 2 Special Edition delivers exclusive content for story mode, including bank robbery mission and gang hideout, dappled back through bed, a gunslinger outfit, talisman and medallion gameplay bonuses, gameplay boosts, cash bonuses and discounts, and 3 weapons free at Gunsmith. And I honestly don't even remember, I don't remember doing any of this, which is interesting. That's interesting. I don't even think I'm going to show the code, actually, because I'm like, Oops. I don't know, I feel like I didn't do this. Like, I have no recollection of this, which is interesting. But I would imagine these codes, like, expire at one point anyways. Right? Low key, I don't even want to show this code because I feel like I didn't even download this code. But whatever, that's fine. But yeah, there it is, right there. Right. Oh, I'm trying to like not get the lighting into it, but yeah. So let's go ahead and get this map, of course. Let's get it open. It is a way smaller map than what the GTA 5 map was, and it's because it is a smaller map. But, you know, you gotta keep in mind that you were riding on horse, so, like, not only that, but, it was, like, for a small map, it had a lot of detail, like, you know, it had a lot of mountains and whatnot, like, there was a lot of, not region, but, like, what am I trying to say? There was a lot of depth into the map, there you go, that's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, so, I think this was just the same map that everyone had. Let's see. I'm gonna look at it for myself real quick because I just want to see. I'm trying to make sense of this map. Okay. This map is a little weird. I don't know why they did it like this. Okay. I don't know. But, okay, so here's the map. So this is kind of like the whole map all together. So like this is like the top of the map. This is where like I think like this is like, how do I say this? Like in the game, like this was like the top of the map. Like this was the furthest you can go up, basically. But yeah, there's the map. I think you can see Valentine maybe, and then right there at the bottom corner is New Austin. So remember that, right? Because when you flip over the page, there's New Austin, but like zoomed in. And then you can see Mexico on the bottom. I don't remember. I'm trying to see if this like says like Blackwater or something, but it doesn't even say any cities. I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of a weird map. I never realized how weird that map was. Like, I don't know, that's strange to me. I'm just like, okay, that's, you know, that's a little odd, honestly. But yeah. New, whatever. So funny story why I have the special edition of this game. So when this game was unveiled, it was 2016. So I believe I was I think I just started 9th grade. So when I finally got to play this game for the first time, I was in 11th grade. Yeah, I was in 11th grade. And 2018 was a crazy year in general. Like, that was when Infinity War came out. That was just a badass year, period. but yeah. So the first trailer debuted in 2016, like towards the end of 2016. So I was in 9th grade. But like, unlike GTA 5, I actually like kept in touch with Red Dead Redemption 2. But at the time, I had never played a Red Dead Redemption game. But by this time, like by this point, I was a pretty like I would consider myself a Rockstar fan, and I really did love GTA 5. So I was like, damn, Rockstar is cooking something. Like they're cooking something with this game. And that first trailer just absolutely blew me away. Because something that Rockstar typically does is whenever they show off their trailers, they show like the game, like it's like this is the game, like this is like the game engine. This is not like a cinematic or whatever the case may be. So like whenever that first trailer dropped, it was like, damn, this is the game. This is how the game's going to look. Like this is gameplay in a sense. So it was really, really cool. For that reason. So I was so excited for Red Dead Redemption 2 that I had pre-ordered the game. But at the time, I was just a kid in high school. So, I had to get my parents to like pre-order the game, but like I had like money saved. So I gave my mom $60 and I told my mom, hey, can you pre-order this game for me? And she said, yeah, sure. So I gave her the money and she pre-ordered it. And I think she pre-ordered it from Best Buy. And I think on launch day, my dad went to go pick it up for me because I couldn't drive. And then also just because it's a mature game as well. So it's kind of like, yeah, like they're not going to give me the game, obviously. So GTA 6 is actually going to be the first game that I'm going to purchase on my own, by myself, which is kind of like low-key emotional when you think about it, because that's going to be the first game I can legally buy in a sense. But what was I going to say? So whenever I came home after school, because it was a Friday, and I remember it was homecoming too, so I think I went to homecoming and then I played Red Dead Redemption when I came home. But I wonder if the normal box, because I'm noticing like it says special edition right there. So I wonder if the normal box says the same thing. Probably not. Yeah, it doesn't. I figured. But anywho, I come home and my mom gives me this. And I'm like, whoa, what? And I told her, because I was just honest, I'm like, Mom, you gave me the special edition. Like, I just ordered, like, I just asked for the regular version. And she was like, oh, you did? And I was like, yeah. And I think she made a genuine mistake. So I told her, like, hey, I'll just give you the money, right? Because, the special edition, I think, was $80. So it was like $20 more. But she was so nice, and she was just like, no, it was a mistake on my part, and like it's like a kind of like a happy mistake, because like you don't owe me anything, just go play the game, like have fun. And I was like, oh, thanks, Mom, that's cool. So that's the only reason why I have the special edition. Literally did not even try to get the special edition. I didn't even care for this. Like I didn't order this specifically. When I gave my mom the money, I gave her $60. So I gave her money with the impression that I was going to pre-order the normal base game. But then I got the special edition, so I'm like, damn, I can't really complain. So that was why I got the special horse and whatnot. But it's like I said, I don't even remember doing any of this right here. Because apparently there is a special bank robbery mission in Gang Hideout. I don't even remember that, honestly. And I mean, it was a long time ago, because this game is like... Oh, let me think. It's going to be 6 years old. Wait, is it 5? Wait. 2019, 2020, 2021, 20... Okay, yeah. It's going to turn 6 years old in next year, and I'm just like, holy moly, you know, like that's crazy to think about. That's insane. But yeah, getting the special edition was like purely an accident. Like I did not want to get the special edition. That like I did not like pre-order the special edition, so I thought it was kind of a funny story to share with you all. But yeah, so now we're going to react to the trailer. Let me turn down my brightness. So I've never done this before. Hopefully the editing isn't too complicated, and then obviously I have to consider copyright as well. But like I said, we're just gonna be reacting to the first trailer of Red Dead Redemption because we're just kind of just like celebrating like GTA 6's release trailer. But the only reason why I'm only doing like Red Dead Redemption 2 is because this was the last game to come out before GTA 6. So I'm not going to focus on Red Dead 1 because I never played it. But also just because it's an old game. Same goes for Max Payne, same goes for Manhunt. I'm just going to solely focus on Red Dead Redemption 2 and the other Grand Theft Autos. Especially 5 though, like I did in the other video. But yeah. Let's see here. So Red Dead Redemption 2 trailer. Yeah, so just to reassure everyone, there it is, Red Dead Redemption 2 trailer. The first one. Yep. So like, I don't know if you can read that, but yeah, fairly short video, only like a minute long. So that's the trailer. We're gonna react to it now. And like I say, I'm gonna try to put the video to the side maybe somewhere. Like I do want to get my face. So I don't know if I can like readjust like where it can be on the screen, but we'll see. Let me start screen recording though, so that way I can kind of sync with me and the video whenever I edit. But alrighty, so let's see, let's make it full screen. Alright, so going in at 3, 2, 1, go. It's going. May contain inappropriate content. Rockstar logo, right? Okay. Damn. I mean, look at that. Like, this is actual gameplay. Like, this is like the game engine in all of its glory. You know, this is not cinematics. Like, this is the game. And to make it even better, the actual game at the end of the day looks way better than this. Look at that. Look at the stars. That was so beautiful. Which is rare because normally trailers look better than the final product in the gaming industry. But yeah, listen to me. When the time comes. Jesus, Arthur looks so badass there, by the way, just like standing in the fire. There's the gang. There's the gang in all of its glory. And then Rockstar Games presents Red Dead Redemption 2, Fall 2017, pre-order now. So honestly, just a pretty basic trailer. But at the time, I was like, whoa, like this looks crazy. Like look at this shot right here. Let me like see if I can rewind. Look at this shot right here with the stars. Wow. That just looks really beautiful, and that's one of the main reasons why I love Red Dead Redemption 2 so much, which I'll get into in a sec. And then you also have this shot of just Arthur just like looking out into the fire, which I think is neat. And then you do get a little shot of the gang, which let's see if yeah. So you can't look at their faces at all. Like they're completely messed up. But it's weird because it doesn't even. Oh yeah, no, you could see their eyes, but it's just like um. So you can't even tell who's who. Uh. But yeah, so now I'm gonna stop screen recording because we're good on that end. Um, that's all of the footage I had to like watch. Um, so Red Dead Redemption 2 actually holds a special place in my heart. Because believe it or not, Red Dead Redemption 2 is my favorite video game of all time. And I generally mean that. Like it is my number one best video game ever. No game has ever beat it today. And like it beats a lot of like games that I've played personally. Like I mean, because I think in my top 5 games of all time, I think I'll probably put like Super Mario Odyssey on there, Breath of the Wild, probably Sonic. No, I don't know about Sonic CD. I don't know about Sonic, like 2D Sonic, maybe. Um, and then like 2D. I don't think 2D Mario would be on my top 5. Well, maybe Mario DS, maybe. But I would probably put Black Ops 2 in my top 5. Yeah, well, okay, that's a whole different story. But at the end of the day, Red Dead Redemption 2 is my favorite video game of all time. And I wasn't expecting to love this game so much. I really wasn't. And technically speaking, it didn't even really matter that I didn't play Red Dead Redemption, the first game, because this is a prequel. For those of you who don't know, this whole game takes place before Red Dead Redemption, which is John Marston's story. So for some odd reason, they decided to call it 2, and I don't know why. That is a little strange, if I'm being honest. But to be fair, like, I can't think of another title that it could have been called. So it's kind of like, okay, I guess just call it Red Dead Redemption 2. I mean, why not? Like, who cares, right? I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I'm kind of tired. But I'm gonna try to get through it. So I was super, super excited for this game. Like I was really excited. Like I was counting down the days for this game to come out, and it was just really exciting, because I just knew this game was just going to be special. Like I knew Rockstar was going to knock it out of the park. And it's like I said, in 2018, it was a pretty crazy year for video games because Smash Bros. Ultimate was going to come out in December, I believe. And that whole year was kind of like just dedicated to Smash Bros. Ultimate. And then Spider-Man had came out prior, like the month before. It actually came out, I think, on my birthday or right around my birthday, like the day before. And then God of War came out that April, which was pretty cool. So video game wise, 2018 was a really, really good year, honestly. Um, but I just knew like Red Dead Redemption 2 is just that one game that I was like, damn, like this is gonna be the top dog. Like this is gonna be the game that's going to like change my life in a sense. Like it's just going to change my perspective on gaming as a whole. And it really did. Um because right off the bat, the level of detail and immersion Rockstar put I'm sorry, not GTA, into Red Dead Redemption 2 is absolutely insane. And a lot of the things that they added was just so unnecessary, but it just makes you appreciate them even more because it's like damn, like they really went all out with this game. Which is why I have such high expectations for GTA 6 because I basically want GTA 6 to be this game on steroids. Like so triple the amount of detail that was like in this game. But even then it's like if GTA 6 just is on the same level as Red Dead Redemption 2 was, that would just make me just as happy because Red Dead Redemption 2 set the bar so high that it's just I can kind of see a scenario where it's not like possible to go any higher than that. Like they literally reached the highest point you could possibly do in a video game. Um because this game absolutely just over exceeded my expectations. Like I was already excited for the game as is, but man, Rockstar just really, really surprised me. Like they just went totally like like crazy. Like they over exceeded my expectations for the game. Like that's how good it was. Um but man, this world just felt so lively, which is rare. It's really, really rare that I play a video game where I actually feel like I'm in the world, because that's the whole point of playing video games. When you're playing a video game, it's an escape from reality. And you're basically in the character's shoes. Um but most of the time you don't really feel that way. And in GTA 5, you don't feel that way at all because the open world doesn't really feel that lively. But in Red Dead Redemption 2, it absolutely does. One of the main aspects that helps with this is definitely the random events in the game because you could just be exploring the world as Arthur Morgan and all of a sudden you encounter like just a completely random event, but the events that you encounter just feel so realistic to the world. Like you could just be exploring the world and you hear someone crying for help and you can either ignore it or investigate it. But if you choose to investigate it, you see a person on the ground and they're like, help me, my leg got a snake bit my leg. And then you have the option to help that person or not. So it's like, oh, should I give this person medicine? Should I leave them to die? Should I end their misery? Like you have so many options to go about it, right? And I just think that's so fascinating. And if you help that person, what's even more cooler is they say something along the lines of like, oh, like I'm gonna return the favor, like if I ever see you again. But you just kind of ignore it. You're like, whatever, I'm gonna continue being an outlaw, right? Um, but you literally like you go to like Valentine for an example, and and you just bump into them. You bump into that person, into the person that you saved, and then they buy you a gun, or they buy you something from the market, and I just think that's so cool. Like, I'm just like, wow. Like Rockstar really went above and beyond. Like, they did not need to do any of that stuff. Um and it's like I said, the level of detail is insane. Like, in the world, like, they actually program animals to hunt and kill each other. Like, you can witness an eagle, um, like swooping in and capturing like a mouse and then like flying off to the nest and feeding it to its young. You can witness a bear like killing someone, like etc. etc. Like, they made the world absolutely lively with all these massive details, like the horse's balls shrinking in the snow or in the cold, which is funny, but I mean, that's still a nice detail. NPCs actually eating off their plate, like one by one. You get what I'm saying? Like all that detail is absolutely insane, and I'm just like, wow, that's really cool. Like that's just awesome, and it just makes me appreciate Rockstar even more and this game alone. Um, like, I actually have like two funny stories about my experience in the game. One experience was, I remember I was just standing around as Arthur, and I think I was just like trying to get a gun for my horse or something, because like you kind of had to like stand next to your horse to like kind of change your guns, and as I was doing that, a bear just comes out of nowhere, and a bear starts attacking me, and it completely caught me off guard. So I didn't even have time to defend myself, and I just got killed by the bear. But I don't know, I just thought that was kind of funny. Because again, it's like it makes the world feel more lively than it already is, right? And then another thing too is so in the game there's this little Easter egg called Night People, or the Night Folk. That's what they're called. Oh man, I gotta get it together. Okay. There was this thing called the Night Folk, and it was kind of in a swampy area of the game, and essentially, it was kind of like a creepy Easter egg, like it was like scary, right? Because these people actually kill you, and they attack the player, which in this case is Arthur Morgan, right? So one day I was playing the game, and I was just strolling around the map, because one of the biggest intriguing aspects of Red Dead Redemption 2 was just exploring the map, because there was so much to discover and there was so much to do, that it was really rare that I was actually doing the main storyline, or that I was doing a quest. Like, in general, I was just really exploring the map. Um so I remember I was in this swampy area, and it was really late at night, and because it was kind of in a rural area, and it was at nighttime. It was pretty dark, so I couldn't really see a lot in the game. And at the time, I didn't realize that you could put your lamp on your horse. So I didn't do that. And I didn't want to hold a lamp because I wanted to hold my gun, right? So I didn't want to hold a lamp for that reason. So so I was already pretty tense when going through the swamp because all I kept hearing was alligators hissing, and it was scary because sometimes your horse would get scared and your horse would kind of like trample you off of them, and they would just run away, and that would just leave you defenseless. So obviously if my horse dropped me, I would get eaten by the alligators, right? So I didn't really want that to happen. So I was already like pretty tense, and I was regretting my decision because I was like, why am I doing this? Like why did I decide to get off, or like to go to this area, right? Um and there was a lot of gators. So already I was pretty tense. I was just like, whoa, what is this? Um excuse me, y'all. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Okay. So as I'm exploring this area, keep in mind, I don't even know about the night folk. So this is like my first time encountering them. Which I guess I kind of spoiled the story, but that's okay. So I'm kind of going on this path, and I run into this dead body. But the body is hanging from a branch, and I thought that was weird. So obviously I couldn't just ignore that. So I get off my horse as Arthur Morgan, because I was playing as Arthur, not John Marston. I get off as Arthur, and I shoot the noose from the corpse. Because maybe the body had like a letter or something that I could read, and I could maybe like go on the side quest or something. And keep in mind, I was in first person at the time. I think it's because I was in first person, so I could get a better view at the body. That's what I was trying to do, just to see if maybe there was maybe they had a gunshot wound or something, like how did they die, right? Because obviously they didn't blink themselves, I don't think, because the noose was kind of like the tree branch was kind of high, so it didn't really make sense for them to do it themselves. It was almost like someone else had did it, which was like why I stopped. And as I'm searching for their body, I hear no noise, I hear nothing, and all of a sudden I get attacked from the back, like someone had hit me in the back, and I turn around and I just see these zombies. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, it kind of freaked me out a little. I was like, whoa, like, whoa, 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 whoa. And it caught me off guard so badly that they managed to kill me, because I was just like, oh, like, I didn't even have time to react, and I died. And I didn't even bother going back. I was just like, you know what? Fuck that. I'm not even gonna go back. I'm not even gonna bother fighting. I'm just literally just like gonna mind my own business and I'm just gonna leave and be gone. I am not going through that again because that was crazy. Um, and eventually, I did learn about them. I was like, okay, they're called the Night Folk, but that was like a completely random encounter. Um, I did not know about them prior to that moment. I didn't get a side quest in regards to them. I discovered them purely on my own. And what makes it so interesting in terms of like the world, like when you look at it in the world perspective, it's so obvious that the body was like what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say distraction. There's like a better word for it. But yeah, it was a distraction because it was almost like bait in a sense because it was like I feel like they put the body there purposely so then that way someone can get off their horse and expect the body and maybe cut the noose and then that's their chance to attack the perpetrator, which in this case it was me. So it was like that's so intriguing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Rockstar put that all together. Like they put that whole ideology together. So it just goes to show that the Night Folk are smart individuals. They're not just monsters, like they're not just mindless monsters. Like they came up with that diversion. There we go. That was the word I was looking for. They came up with that diversion and it was like, wow, like that's just like so much detail into the world. And once again, it just makes the world feel so lively. Like it makes it feel that you're at, because in that moment I felt like I was Arthur Morgan. Like it felt like I was in his shoes because I was playing pretty late at night. So my room light was off, like the lamp was off. I was in the dark and it was just my TV and me and the controller. Like it felt like I was Arthur Morgan. And that's the whole point that I'm trying to get with this game is that when you play this game, you feel so immersed, and I swear no other game has been able to even achieve this, at least in my opinion. Um, and it's like I said, the immersion helps so much. It really does. And the level of detail they add into the game too, like the realism to it, it makes you appreciate it even more. Um, by the way, I forgot to talk about this in my GTA 5 video. But I do use first person, like sometimes, like I kind of know, like every time I'm like in a gunfight, I typically use first person because I find it easier to aim in first person than in third person. But at the end of the game, I mean, sorry, at the end of the day, um, these games were made in mind, like they were kind of made with the third person system. Does that make sense? Um, it's like Minecraft and Skyrim or any Bethesda game, but Minecraft, right? Minecraft was designed with a first person, uh, like engine, right? Like the game revolves around first person, but they give you an option to do third person. But no one plays in third person because it's uncomfortable. Because again, these games were designed as a first person game in mind. So that's the case with Red Dead Redemption 2. It's like in GTA 5, it's like these games give you the first person option where you can kind of look at the game through the character's eyes. But at the end of the day, these games were always meant to be third person perspective games. So that's something you have to consider. Um, but yeah, um, The story is really, really crazy. I actually really, really like the story. I do think the story is original. It's really emotional, and I would be lying if I say I didn't cry, because I did. Um, the ending of the game made me really emotional. It really did, because, like I said, Arthur Morgan is already a well-written character, but when you play the game, you feel like you're Arthur Morgan, because you make decisions as Arthur Morgan. You complete quests as Arthur Morgan. Like, you get to decide what to do with random events as Arthur Morgan. So, and you spend so much time with your horse too, that when your horse dies, you generally feel sad, because it's like, wow, this horse was with me throughout my game. I saved this horse like several times. I even went back to a save file because like my horse died on me, and I was like, hell no, I'm not gonna deal with that. So I went back to a save file just to save my horse. Like, I was really close to that horse. So for it to die, it was just like, wow, this sucks. Um, Not only that, but like Arthur dying, it's just so sad, and it made me cry. It made me cry, because he wanted John to have a beautiful life. He wanted Abigail and Jack and John to leave the outlaw life and live a beautiful life, and to see Arthur die for that reason is like beautiful, but it's also sad, because he didn't deserve to die, because he already had tuberculosis. He already had TB, so he was already dying. And that was the only reason why Micah won the fight to begin with, because Arthur Morgan was a beast. He was an absolute beast. Like, he could go toe to toe with anyone. Like, he was a brawler. Like he could kick some ass. And but Micah beats him in the fight, because by that point in the game, Arthur Morgan is so deteriorated in health. So regardless, Arthur was just going to die anyways. Like, even if he managed to kill Micah and Dutch, even if they didn't kill him and they spared him, at the end of the day, Arthur was gonna die. He was gonna die. Like, he just wasn't going to live for that long, and he knew that. He knew that. And what's kind of like intriguing too is the only reason why Arthur gets TB in the first place is because whenever I forgot that guy's name. I think Strass. Whenever he sends Arthur to go get money from like a loaner, the guy actually has TB, and he coughs in Arthur's face. And that's how Arthur contracts TB. So, in a sense, it's kind of Strass's fault why Arthur gets the disease, which is kind of, weird in a way, because at some point he gets kicked out of the camp because Arthur realizes that he's a scumbag, because Arthur is like, he steals money from like these innocent people. Like, Arthur witnessed a mother and son who had just lost their husband and father, and they were barely making ends meet, and Arthur felt bad, but Arthur just felt so disgusted with himself by that point that he was just like, you know what, fuck Strass. Like, I'm gonna kick this guy out of our camp. Like, why does he deserve to be in our gang, right? And what's interesting is that at one point, the gang was genuine. Like, they were actually genuine, because there was a point where they would help the needless, like they would help those who needed help. Like that was their whole dilemma. So it was kind of like Robin Hood. Like they would still rob banks and such, but they wouldn't kill people, and they would give money to those who needed it, like people who genuinely needed help. So at one point Dutch was a genuine person. Like Dutch like really did care. Like he did care for the gang members. He did care to help people. But then little by little throughout the game, Dutch deteriorates in mental health, and he clearly becomes like insane. Because it gets to a point where he believes Micah, someone who barely joined the gang at that point, was maybe in the gang for 6 months at that time. Um, he believed Micah more so than Arthur and John, who he raised in a sense. I mean, that's just insane when you think about it. But see, that's what's so intriguing about Dutch, because it's like Dutch is charismatic. Like Dutch was a good leader at one point, and Dutch, like, I feel like at the beginning of the game he was genuine. Like he really did care for everyone, because I mean, he saves Sadie's life, because the O'Driscolls robbed Sadie's house and they killed her husband. Um, and Arthur and the gang, they kill the O'Driscolls and they save Sadie, right? Like Dutch could have just left her alone. Dutch could have just said, "Oh, I'm gonna rob you anyways," or Dutch could have been like, "Oh, like we're gonna like not care about Sadie and just leave her to be." But no, Dutch took her into their hands, and they took care of her. Like they fed her, they brought her a home. At one point Dutch was caring, but then after failure, he just started becoming insane. And it got to a point where he didn't even know who he was anymore, because it's like I said, he literally takes Micah's side, which is crazy. That's why at the end of the game, he kills Micah himself, because he's like, whoa, I was an idiot. Like, why did I ever like associate with this person? And he just leaves. He just leaves, and he basically like lets John and Sadie like have all the money that they had taken from their old camp, right? Um, and what's even more interesting is that John and Sadie, they don't kill Dutch, because they still somewhat respect Dutch, especially after, him killing Micah. It was like, damn, Dutch killed Micah. Like why should we kill Dutch if he killed Micah? Because it kind of just shows that like he fixed his mistake. But at the same time, it's like I feel like a part of it too is that they just still loved Dutch to a certain degree. Like they just couldn't kill Dutch, because at the end of the day, they appreciate Dutch for what he did in the past, which I think is like that's why Red Dead Redemption just has such an intriguing story, because I think Arthur Morgan is like one of the best protagonists in general media. Because Arthur's not exactly a saint. Like he's not really a good person. Like I mean, he does rob people, he does kill innocents, and he is kind of an ass. Like at the beginning of the game, he really despises John. He absolutely hates John Marston. He's just like, yeah, you know what? Like, I don't care about John. Like, John could die for all I care. Like that's his mentality. But um throughout the game he kind of grows as a character because he starts slowly realizing like what am I doing? Like you know, like with Strash, like he kicked Strash out of the camp because he just realized how low life it is to be stealing money from people who really need it. Because encounter after encounter, Arthur just would let them go. You know, there was this man with like a pregnant woman, and as soon as he saw that she was pregnant, he was like, you know what, go. Like just go. Like I'm gonna act like I just never saw y'all. And I'll just tell Strass, oh, I couldn't find him. You know what I'm saying? Like Arthur at the end of the day is a good man because he did love his family. He did love his camp. Like he saw them as his own blood and sweat. Like he would take a bullet for every single one of them. Even people that even someone like John probably, you know, he would. And at the end of the day he does because it's like at the beginning of the game he hates John. He despises John. But then towards the end of the game, he literally gives his life to John so John can live a blessed life. And that's why, you know, John kind of has survivor's guilt for that reason, you know, because John never talks about Arthur because he feels bad. You know, he feels bad. Like throughout the game, when John visits old locations, you hear voices from Arthur. Um, and yeah, it could just be an Easter egg from the developers, but a lot of people like to kind of take it as John having like PTSD or like survivor's guilt to a certain extent because it's like John feels bad. You know, John really wanted Arthur to live. He really wanted to be by Arthur's side. Like John was willing to die alongside Arthur, but Arthur was so insisting that John to be a man and to go, you know, support Abigail and Jack. And Arthur there was just no arguing with Arthur, but to a certain degree like John knew deep down that Arthur was right. But it's like I said, you know, John just somewhat has survivor's guilt because he kind of questions and he's like, why am I here? You know, like 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 I need to do something with my life because Arthur died for me. And if I go back to being an outlaw, it feels like I'm disrespecting Arthur in a way, you know? Like man, just talking about Red Dead Redemption, bro, like just like just A after A after A, like just constant like check marks because man, this story goes hard. It really does. Like other video games have made me cry. Um, The Last of Us made me cry. That was like the intro, and it was the intro, so that's pretty impressive when you think about it. Um, but you know, The Last of Us did make me cry because I mean, even the game in general is emotional. Like when Joel saves Ellie from the hospital, but it's like that intro, man. Golly, bro. Like, damn, bro. Damn. I guess Super Mario Galaxy in a way, but not because like the game's emotional, but kind of just like it's so nostalgic and beautiful that it makes me want to cry. Does that make sense? Because the aesthetic of Super Mario Galaxy is so beautiful. Like I think Super Mario Galaxy probably has like gaming's best music of all time. Like even just like from simple things, like even just the menu music in Super Mario Galaxy, like when you're choosing the world or your file, even that music just feels so it feels like you're kind of like floating in space, or it feels like you're kind of like like you're flirting in the bias. Like that's the feeling I get with Super Mario Galaxy. But yeah, like it's like I said, Red Dead Redemption 2 does a really good job at making you feel like you're Arthur Morgan. So that's probably the main reason why I cried with the game, and why I felt so attached to these characters. Because whenever Lenny dies, the way they handled Lenny is so fucking genius. It's so genius how they handled his death. Because when Lenny dies, it happens during the gameplay, and it happens instantly. So there's no cinematic to it. There's no like cutscene. There's no like kind of like emphasis that Lenny died. It's just literally what happens is Lenny gets shot and he dies, and that's it. That's it. But the genius part about it is that it happens in the gameplay. So whenever you're playing as Arthur and y'all are escaping from that heist, these two guards get in front of Lenny out of nowhere and they kill him. But as Arthur, you're like you do red eye, and you're like, um, but it doesn't work because it was just too spontaneous. Like it just Arthur just didn't have time to react. And I remember when that first happened, I felt so guilty, and I thought it was just one of those moments that I could have changed. So when Lenny died, I thought that was on me. I was like, oh my God, Lenny died because of me, because I wasn't fast enough. So I felt so bad that I literally replayed the file just to save Lenny, because I was like, okay, now I'm prepared. Now I can be faster, right? But by that point, when I didn't succeed, I was like, oh, this is this is inevitable. Like the game wants Lenny to die, right? Like there's nothing I can do about it, about it to make a difference. But look at how genius that is. Like Rockstar made it in a way to where, one, it was realistic, and two, it felt like it was your fault because you weren't fast enough to kill Lenny, or not to kill Lenny, but to kill the guards. So whenever you fail, you feel like you failed. You feel like you genuinely failed as a player, because you're like, wow, my gun skills are terrible. I wasn't fast enough. But then also, it being spontaneous was also realistic, because it's like that's how it works in real life. It's so fast that you don't even react to it. So that just made Lenny's death even more impactful. They didn't over dramatize it. They didn't add sad music. They didn't add like a whole cinematic revolving around like Lenny's death and like Arthur kind of like mourning over it. It just happened spontaneously, and then Dutch kind of is like, we gotta go, like we gotta leave, Arthur, we gotta leave. We can't do anything about him, and you continue the mission. I mean, holy shit, that is crazy. Like that is just absolutely insane. It really is. Like, like, like that reason, like stuff like that is why I love Rockstar so much, and just like overall details, overall immersion, details, 111. I'm sorry, I was just looking at the time, etc., etc. Like it makes you feel like you're Arthur Morgan. At the end of the day, this game is a 10 out of 10. Absolutely beautiful, very, very, like, a lot of people, I can kind of get why people don't like this game, because, especially if you're, like, just a GTA fan, because a lot of people say, like, this game is slow, and I'm not gonna lie, like, I understand that criticism. You know, it's not for everyone. But man, if you can just appreciate the world, if you can just like appreciate the detail and realism into this game, not only that, but it just has such an amazing story with a beautifully written protagonist being Arthur Morgan and John Marston. I'm just like, man, this game literally like I have little to no criticisms about the game. Like the only criticism I probably have is like you know, sometimes the honor system isn't exactly on par. There are some instances where I kind of question it. I'm like, wait, why did I get like this honor for? Like, what did I do wrong? But then there's also some instances where like for instance, you can't rob banks in the game, which is a shame. But it kind of makes sense like when you think about it, because all the missions they revolve around robbing banks. So if Arthur just robbed a bank on his own, that wouldn't really make a lot of sense. But see what I mean? My criticisms are very minimal. They're more nitpicks, if anything. And on top of that, I barely have any. So it's like literally a win-win. But yeah, if you haven't played Red Dead Redemption 2, please, please, please play it. You're missing out. I promise. But yes, if y'all couldn't tell, I really love this game, considering this video is like practically an hour long. But alright, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it from me. Please, please, please have a good one. Take care. Stay blessed. And this is Rollis Guzzy signing off. And I love Red Dead Redemption 2. Bye.